Sally Field was born Sally Margaret Field on November 6, 1946, in Pasadena, California, into a household already familiar with the rhythms of show business. Her mother, Margaret Field, worked as an actress, while her stepfather, Jock Mahoney, built a career as an actor and stuntman. Growing up around sets, scripts, and rehearsals gave Sally an early understanding that acting was not just glamour, but discipline, rejection, and emotional exposure. Even as a child, she absorbed both the magic and the cost of performance. This environment nurtured her artistic instincts, but it also made her keenly aware of expectations placed on women in Hollywood. From a young age, Field learned how easily identity could be shaped by public perception. That awareness would later drive her determination to move beyond typecasting and insist on being seen not as a symbol, but as a serious, evolving artist. Television fame and the burden of being beloved Field first captured national attention in the mid-1960s with lighthearted television roles that made her instantly recognizable. Shows like Gidget and later The Flying Nun turned her into one of America's most familiar faces, admired for her charm, sweetness, and comedic timing. While audiences adored her, Sally quietly felt confined by the narrow expectations these roles created. She was grateful for the success, yet aware that being universally liked often came at the cost of being taken seriously. Behind the bright smile was a young woman yearning for artistic depth. She feared that if she remained in these roles, her potential would never be explored. Rather than accept comfort, she chose risk. This period taught her that popularity could be as limiting as failure, and that true fulfillment required courage. Her decision to challenge her own image marked the first major turning point in a career defined by reinvention. Reinvention through discipline and emotional risk. Determined to reshape her career, Sally Field committed herself to rigorous training, including studying under Lee Strasberg. This was not an easy transition. She had to unlearn habits built for sitcom performance and confront emotional terrain she had long avoided. Her breakthrough came with the television film Sybil in 1976, where she delivered a performance of extraordinary intensity. The role demanded vulnerability, precision, and stamina, and Field met it head-on. Winning an Emmy validated her decision to take risks and redefined how the industry viewed her. No longer just a charming television star, she emerged as a formidable dramatic actress. This transformation was not only professional, but deeply personal. By allowing herself to explore pain and complexity on screen, Field began understanding her own inner life more clearly, laying the groundwork for the emotional honesty that would define her later work and reflections. Acclaim, confidence, and finding her voice. The late 1970s and 1980s became a defining era for Sally Field, marked by artistic confidence and critical acclaim. Her Oscar-winning performance in Norma Rae revealed a fierce strength audiences had not fully seen before, while Places in the Heart confirmed her ability to anchor emotionally rich stories. Her famous awards speech, often remembered for its spontaneity, symbolized more than validation. It reflected a woman finally comfortable claiming her worth. During these years, Field balanced vulnerability with authority, choosing roles that explored resilience, love, and moral courage. She refused to be decorative, instead insisting on substance. This period solidified her reputation as an actress of depth rather than trend. Yet even as her career flourished, Field remained introspective, aware that success did not erase self-doubt. That ongoing tension between achievement and introspection would later shape how she reflected on relationships, loss, and unfinished conversations. Family, love, and the complexity of private life. Alongside her professional achievements, Sally Field's personal life unfolded with equal complexity. She married young, became a mother early, and navigated relationships while balancing an intense career. Motherhood remained central to her identity, grounding her through changing phases of fame and personal uncertainty. Her relationships, including a highly visible romance with Burt Reynolds and later marriages, were deeply meaningful, yet often challenging. Field has spoken openly about how love, while essential, did not always provide security or clarity. Each chapter brought lessons about independence, compromise, and self-respect. Rather than viewing these experiences as failures, she later described them as formative, shaping her emotional intelligence and resilience. Her openness about these matters has resonated with audiences because it reflects a life honestly lived without romanticizing struggle. This authenticity became one of her defining qualities, both on and off screen, crossing paths with Robin Williams. Among the many people Sally Field worked with, her connection with Robin Williams stands out as uniquely layered. Their collaboration on Mrs. Doubtfire in 1993 created one of cinema's most memorable pairings, marked by warmth, tension, and genuine emotional chemistry. Field has since explained that their bond was not romantic in the conventional sense, but deeply affectionate and complex. Working with Williams meant entering a creative whirlwind where humor flowed effortlessly and sensitivity followed closely behind. She admired his brilliance, yet sensed the vulnerability beneath his rapid-fire wit. Their on-screen dynamic mirrored something real: two people navigating connection, misunderstanding, and care. For Field, Williams was not just a co-star, but a presence that lingered emotionally. That closeness made their collaboration meaningful, but it also left her with feelings she would only fully articulate years later, once time softened the edges of memory. The clown, the poet, and the quiet sadness. Looking back, Field has spoken candidly about sensing an undercurrent of sadness in Robin Williams, even during moments of great laughter. She recalls how his energy could fill a room, yet how quickly he could shift into moments of tenderness that revealed depth and introspection. This duality fascinated her. Williams embodied contradiction, exuberant yet reflective, playful yet serious. Field felt protective of him, intuitively aware that his joy often came at a personal cost. At the time, she did not fully understand how heavy that burden might have been. With the clarity that age brings, she now reflects on moments when she wishes she had spoken more openly, reached out more directly, or expressed her appreciation more clearly. Her reflections are not rooted in guilt, but in recognition of how easy it is to assume there will always be more time to say what matters. Loss, reflection, and unfinished conversations. Robin Williams' passing prompted a period of deep reflection for Sally Field. Grief, she has said, often arrives intertwined with unanswered questions and unspoken words. As she grew older, she became more willing to examine those feelings without fear or self-protection. Field has acknowledged that while she cherished her connection with Williams, she sometimes held back emotionally, unsure of boundaries or timing. In hindsight, she recognizes that honesty, even when uncomfortable, can be an act of care. Her reflections are not an attempt to rewrite the past, but to honor it fully. By speaking openly now, she allows space for complexity, acknowledging love that does not fit neat definitions. This willingness to share emotional truth reflects her evolution not just as an actress, but as a person who understands that relationships are often defined as much by what remains unsaid as by what is expressed. Mental health, vulnerability, and self-understanding. In her later years, Sally Field has also spoken more openly about her own mental health struggles. particularly periods of depression during her youth. She describes those years as marked by restlessness, anxiety, and a sense of searching for something unnamed. Fame did not shield her from uncertainty. In some ways, it intensified it. This vulnerability has become an important part of her public voice, offering reassurance to others who feel similarly adrift. Field's honesty emphasizes that emotional pain is not a weakness, but a signal calling for understanding and care. Her willingness to confront these experiences parallels her reflections on Robin Williams, underscoring how deeply she values emotional truth. By sharing her story, she reframes struggle as part of growth rather than something to hide, reinforcing the idea that self-awareness often arrives slowly, shaped by time, courage, and compassion, speaking now with clarity and grace. At 78, Sally Field speaks with a clarity that comes from a life fully lived. She no longer feels the need to protect an image or soften uncomfortable truths. By sharing her reflections on Robin Williams, she honors him not as an icon, but as a deeply human presence who left a lasting imprint on her life. Her words serve as both tribute and reminder that connection is fragile, time is fleeting, and honesty matters most while it can still be heard. Field's legacy extends beyond awards and performances. It lives in her courage to tell the truth gently and without bitterness. In doing so, she offers audiences something rare in Hollywood: wisdom earned through reflection. Her story encourages us to speak our feelings sooner, love more openly, and recognize that even unfinished conversations can still carry meaning when approached with grace.